It's the most wonderful time of the year. Sephora sale time. What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. I know you've been waiting for this video. We all know the Sephora VIB savings event is coming up, and this is going to be my video where I'm telling you guys all of my recommendations for what you should pick up in the sale, what is worth it, and specifically what is worth picking up on sale from Sephora. So if you guys are interested in hearing all of my recs, then keep watching. And if this happens to be your first time here, maybe you found me in a YouTube search, then welcome. My name is Sophia, and this is my channel where we talk about all things beauty and luxury. Every single week I upload content about makeup, beauty, and fashion, especially beauty that kind of focuses on like the Sephora brand and luxury brand area of the market. So if that sounds of interest to you, then you are in the right place. Hit that subscribe button to join our fam because we have so much fun here on this channel, and you can also click that notification bell to hear about every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to give your girl here a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you are new here, I always link everything that I mention in each video and anything that is on my face or I am wearing in that description box down below. A really great way to support my channel, other than watching, other than giving me a thumbs up, is shopping through those links. The Sephora sale time is a big time for us creators to be able to generate revenue for our channel, to be able to buy the products that we are reviewing on a weekly basis. And so if you would love to support my channel, maybe you've been enjoying my videos lately, shopping through those links is a really great way to support me at no additional cost to you. It does not cost you anything. Let's dive into this video. First off, I need to share with you guys what are the dates for this year's event. Sephora does one event in the spring and then one event around holiday time. It usually comes at like end of October, beginning of November. And the way that the pricing works is in tiers. So all you have to do is join their Beauty Insider program. I'll put a link down below to where you can do that. It's free. Basically, you are giving them your email so that they can send you marketing emails. And in return, you get 10% off. Now, if you shop at Sephora pretty often, like I do, you may reach other tiers. So the next tier is going to be VIB. And then the following tier, if you're like me and you spend way too much money at Sephora each year, is VIB Rouge. So there's different dates and different discounts for each of those. So starting off with VIB Rouge, we get to shop the sale first. That's one of the biggest perks of being VIB Rouge. And for Rouge, our shopping date is going to be the 28th of October. So that's when we get to shop. And then the sale is going to end on the 7th of November. So it doesn't last for very long. You can shop multiple times. It's not like a one-time code or anything like that. If you are a beauty insider, you are going to get an email with the code. Now, if you're a VIB, your date to start shopping the sale is going to be November 1st. So Rouge is going to get a couple of days. If you're a VIB, the date for you to start shopping the sale is going to be November 1st. Rouge is going to get 20% off. VIB is going to get 15% off. And then Beauty Insiders, so pretty much anyone, is going to get 10% off. And the date for just anybody who's a part of the Insider program is going to be November 3rd. So at the very least, you have November 3rd to November 7th. You have a couple of days to shop this sale. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys all of the products that I think are worth picking up. Now, I did do one of these videos earlier in the year for the spring event. And in that video, I basically told you like all of my Sephora holy grails. So I am going to link that video down below because in this video, I'm going to be focusing more on kind of things that have released since then. So newer items that have released this year, things that a lot of you guys I know you're looking at and you have your eyes on. And so definitely check out that other video if you want to hear about just kind of generic, tried and true, holy grail types of products that I enjoy and that I like to stock up on during the sale, or that I just recommend in general. And then in this video, we'll be focusing on the new. I also want to share a little bit about my logic for this sale. I try to pick up things that either are only at Sephora or are things that maybe are a little bit pricier elsewhere, and I know that they don't go on sale. So you will notice that there's probably a couple of brands that you know I love and adore, but I'm not going to include them in this video. One example is Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath is going to have a Black Friday sale. She's going to have much better deals on her site than at Sephora. I actually made another video earlier in the year about brands you shouldn't buy from this sale. So if you want some shopping tips on like how you can save your money this holiday season, I'll link that video down below and you guys can give that a watch. But I do just like to say that there's a lot of products at Sephora that I really love, but I just don't think that like 10% off is that good of a discount. 15% off isn't that good of a discount. If you're Rouge and you get the 20%, 20%, you have a little bit more to work with here. But if you're like really trying to get the best deal on everything, if you're very savvy like I am, think about the sales that these brands are going to be having on their own sites. Lastly, I also want to note, especially for those of you who are a little bit newer to my channel, I have dedicated review videos for a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about today. So you can go take a look at my channel, or I will link things down below if you want more in-depth reviews, swatches, comparisons. This isn't going to be a comprehensive review of each product, so I do want to mention that as well. All right, enough of that. Let's get into my recommendations. I'm going to be starting off first with sort of like base products, and I'm trying to keep this pretty minimal. Like, there really were no new foundations that I've tried over the past couple of months that I absolutely need to recommend to you all, but there is one concealer that I cannot put down, and that is this new one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I have it in 2 shades. The shade that works best for me is 2.5, but I also have the shade 1. I adore this concealer, and I know some of you are probably annoyed because I've talked so much about how I love this concealer. It's just like the best Goldilocks concealer. It really does a good job of brightening, camouflaging my dark circles, any kind of rosacea. This is a very glowy and brightening concealer. I like to go in with the shade 2.5, sort of all over the under eye and my upper lid as well. And I'll just blend that out with a little concealer brush. And then I'll go in with the lighter shade and I'll just dot that in the areas that I need it the most, where I also don't really have fine lines and wrinkles. So right in the inner corner of the eye, just to kind of add a little bit of brightness. Now, one caveat I do want to say about this concealer is some people have not enjoyed this because it has mica. Depending on the shade you get, especially if it's on the darker side of the spectrum, it will give a bit of a light reflecting shimmery effect. And so some people have not enjoyed that. So if you didn't enjoy that and you are looking for some alternatives, the 2 that I would recommend would be number 1, the KVD Good Apple Concealer. That is a little bit more on the matte side, but I think it does a really good job of brightening the under eye without having that mica. And then if you're looking for something a little bit more moisturizing, I would go for the Say Concealer. That one also does a really good job, but it's a little bit like creamier and I think better for those of you with dry skin. So that is my top concealer. Like, between all the foundation and concealer, this is my top rec, and then those are some alternatives if you guys aren't really getting along well with the mica. Let's talk about face palettes, because we have seen a lot of face palettes being released this holiday season. I think that these things make pretty good gifts, and that's why we tend to see a lot of them kind of around like the fall and winter time. And the first face palette recommendation that I have for you all are these from Hourglass. Hourglass launched 3 palettes this holiday season. They had the butterfly palette, the elephant palette, and then this one, which is the tiger palette. And so I did a full review for you guys on all 3 of those. I know it can be pretty difficult to decide which one to get. One of you described it as mystifying, like these palettes were very mystifying. And I have to agree, because for once they kind of gave us more of a range of tones to choose from. Some of them have bronzers, some of them don't, some of them have a lot of highlighters, some of them don't. So definitely check out that video if you need some help choosing which one to get. My favorite, and what I think is the most unique, is this one. This is the Tiger palette. This is the one that is designed for darker and deeper skin tones. I watched a lot of other people review this, and it does seem to suit pretty much a wide range of skin tones. Once again, if you want to see how I make this one work for my skin tone, check out that video, because I give you guys some tips. You can see how these colors pool on my skin. But I've also watched a lot of creators with deeper skin tones review this, and it looks absolutely stunning. Not to mention the packaging on these palettes is so good. It's so cute. Like, who doesn't love a little tiger? And then the elephant and the butterfly are fantastic as well. I did tell you guys in that video that my favorite one is the tiger palette, followed by the elephant palette, followed by the butterfly palette. And I kind of go into the reasons why. But in general, I think especially if you don't have a lot of products from Hourglass already, or maybe you have a deeper skin tone and unfortunately you were not able to enjoy Hourglass up until now, well, Hourglass is finally listening, and we're finally getting some deeper powders in these holiday palettes. So this is my first recommendation when it comes to face palettes. You knew this was gonna be in here. I feel like a lot of people poo-pooed these palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette, and I have the shade Medium Deep. Also did a review on this for you guys. I didn't get the lighter one because I just really didn't want it. I wanted the richer tones. This absolutely works for my skin tone, even though I am pretty fair. I think it's gonna suit a wide range of skin tones. This is called the Beautifying Face Palette, and that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel so, so beautiful. I think this is great for those of you who you want kind of like an all-in-one where you can create that beautiful Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk like monochromatic type of look. I showed you guys in my review not only how you can apply this to the cheeks, but also how you can use this as eyeshadow. So if you were thinking of getting a Charlotte Tilbury quad in the sale, like an eyeshadow quad, you might not need to. You might be able to just get this and you can kind of have like a 2-in-1, something that can be multi-purpose and applied all over the face. The two caveats to this is, yes, it is very similar to a lot of what Charlotte Tilbury has put out in the past, like it's part of the Pillow Talk collection. And also the highlighters do tend to be pretty glowy, so I don't think this is for somebody that wants like a super subtle highlight. But that being said, you know, one of the reasons that I wanted to put this in this video is because I think that this makes a fantastic gift. If you have like a teenager or a college student or pretty much any woman who you know that they love these tones, I think this would be such a stunning, beautiful gift. Like the packaging is so luxurious. I just think it's a really great palette. If you already have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk stuff in your collection, do you need it? No, but if you're looking for something like this and something that is very multi-purpose, I think it's a fantastic buy. It's also $75, so saving a little bit of money on this can't hurt. Charlotte Tilbury does have sales on her site, but she doesn't have like site-wide sales. She does a lot of like bundle type of sales, so I can't guarantee that you're going to get a bigger discount on this holiday product on the Charlotte Tilbury website. Next, I want to talk about some bronzers, and I'm pretty sure I covered this in my last video for the spring sale, but I don't care. I want to talk about these again. These are the Guerlain Terracotta Light bronzers. These are so stunning. I actually think that the review I did for this might be one of my most popular videos of all time, which just speaks to the popularity of this product. If you've never tried Guerlain Terracotta bronzers before, you need to give them a try. And I know they're very expensive, but that is why I am recommending them during this sale time, because it's kind of hard to get a discount on Guerlain. Guerlain does not have discounts on their main site. At least I've never seen one. So you typically have to get a discount during the Sephora sale or maybe during one of like the department store sales, which in that case, it's probably gonna be like around the 15 to 20% off mark anyway. What makes these special is that you're kind of getting like a mosaic of different colors. And these were designed to be sort of a more natural looking bronzer to the regular Guerlain Terracotta line. It is a similar formula. The quality of the powder is the same, but the tone that you get is very beautiful and natural. A lot of times I also will sort of layer this on top of other bronzers that I might have. I might put a layer of one bronzer and then kind of go in with this almost as like a bronzy sort of blush in a way. And the other thing to note about these is that they come in 2 different undertones. So in addition to there being like light, medium, deep sort of shades that we see with every type of bronzer line, with these you're also getting the cool tone and then you're getting the warm tone. So typically with the cool tone ones, you're getting like a little bit of pink that's added in there. So if you're someone that has more of a cool tone skin tone, or if maybe you're a little bit fairer especially, I would go for the cool tone one. But if you're someone that loves peach tones, if you have a golden or more olive skin tone, that's when you want to go for the warm, because as you can see, it has more of like mixtures of peach. Between the two, I love them both. I would say I go for the warm one more often, because if you're new here, I love warm tones and I really love that kind of peachy flush. Today, I'm actually wearing the cool toned one because I wanted a little bit more of like a pink, but these are just so good, and I like to recommend them as well because if you already have another powder bronzer in your collection, this is something different, and it's something that can be a bronzer, it can be a blush, and it also can be eyeshadow. In my review, I show you guys how I create a beautiful soft eye look by kind of, you know, dibbling and dabbling between each of the shades here. This can be a very one and done multi-purpose type of product. It is a little bit expensive, and that's why it's great to get it in the sale. You guys know I love cream bronzers, so I had to recommend a cream bronzer in this video. By the way, if you haven't seen my cream bronzer roundup video, I'll link that down below. I basically tried all of the new cream bronzers that came out this year, kind of broke it down, showed you guys the differences between them. And in that video, I featured this cream bronzer. This is the one I want to recommend for the Sephora sale because it's a little bit pricey, but also I think it's just a good Goldilocks cream bronzer. This is the NARS Laguna Bronzing Cream. I have the shade Laguna 01. That is the best one for me. And then I also have Laguna 02, which I think was like the original shade that they released. I'll show you guys some swatches right here of 01 versus 02. If you're very fair like me, I would recommend 01. Like I said, this is a really good Goldilocks cream bronzer. It's not too emollient, it's not too matte, it blends like a dream, it smells amazing, and I believe there's 5 shades of this, whereas with a lot of the other cream bronzers that you find at Sephora, there's only like 2 or 3 shades. Sometimes there's only 1 shade, and this comes in 5. This is a really good cream bronzer if you're looking for just a good all-around cream bronzer that's gonna look really natural and there's gonna be a shade for you. I recommend checking out this one from NARS. Moving on to contour, this is actually a product I picked up in the Sephora savings event, maybe in the spring or last year. I can't remember what it is. And this is from Westman Atelier. This is the Westman Atelier Face Trace Stick. These come in 3 shades if I'm not mistaken. And the one that I like to use is called Biscuit. This is the lightest shade in the range, and it is that perfect, like cool tone, but not gray type of contour. If you go to the middle shade, that one is very warm toned. I wouldn't recommend that one as a contour. That's better as a bronzer. So just kind of keep that in mind. But this shade Biscuit, it's so good, and it blends like a dream. It's so quick. It's so quick. I just draw this on my face like a crayon. I take a little brush, I blend it in. It blends out so seamlessly. It's never patchy. It's not sticky either. Even though it's a cream product, it doesn't get sticky. It has kind of like a soft, natural kind of finish. And so, I don't know, it's very expensive, but you're getting that perfect, satisfying, like magnetic closure. It's really nice packaging. I've just been really impressed with a lot of Westman Atelier products and their packaging. And this one, out of all of the ones that I've tried, is definitely my favorite. Such a good option for contour. And if you go to the other shades for bronzer. Gucci blushes. You knew I was gonna recommend these. I've said it that I was gonna include these in this video. I love these little blushes, and I feel like a lot of people adore these, and then there's some people that really poo-poo on them. But listen, these are good blushes. We're getting this gorgeous Hollywood nude and gold packaging. Is it annoying to open? A little bit, because it has these little like nubby things right here, which makes you think you need to press it. But look, this is how you open it. See, very easy. Once you get the hang of it, you are good. I have every shade of these little guys, and I told you in my review of these, the formula is very effortless. It's just a touch glowy without being like a super glowy, like blush highlighter type of hybrid. It has a touch of glow, a touch of illumination, very silky, very powdery. Love the packaging. They have kind of like a very light floral scent. It's very enjoyable, and my favorite shade is this one, which is called Rosy Beige, but on some sites it's called Rosy Tan, which I don't know what that's about, but it's either called Rosy Beige or Rosy Tan. I feel like this color goes with like every single look, and I know a lot of you, after seeing my review, you picked up this shade. If you want something a little bit deeper, my second favorite shade is this one, which is called Warm Berry. Honestly, the worst thing about this blush collection from Gucci is that they didn't release more shades, because a lot of the shades are kind of similar, like the pinks and the oranges. I feel like these two are the best for fall, winter, and are probably the most unique as well. I don't know. I just think they're like the richest. They're the best for fall. The other shades, personally, those are going to be more of like spring and summertime shades. I really want to see Gucci release more. I hope they release darker shades, because we're really only getting like this one for something that's a little bit deeper. But regardless, I do think these are a good buy during the Sephora sale. I don't really see these going on sale anywhere else. Like, Gucci doesn't have sales, and typically like Gucci is blocked from having their items discounted on a lot of other retailers. So I think this is going to be great. I know a lot of people said that they thought they were very small, but when I checked the grams on the Sephora website, this is basically the same as like a NARS blush. So I think it's just because the packaging is so like cute and dainty that people are like, oh, they're so small. They're so much smaller than the bronzers, but it actually has like a pretty normal amount of product. So I'll mention that as well. A lot of you have been asking me, what do I think of these RMS blushes? These are the RMS Beauty ReDimension Hydra Powder Blush, because a lot of you were asking me, are these dupes for the Gucci blush? Are they dupes? And you know what? I don't think that they are. You know, I had a little swatcheroo on my Instagram because a lot of you were wondering, does the shade Maiden's blush match up to the shade Rosy Beige that I just showed you from Gucci? And, you know, they're pretty similar. If you don't feel like buying the Gucci blush, you can try this one from RMS. The biggest difference in the formula is that the RMS blushes are a little bit glowier. So as long as you don't mind that, I think that the RMS ones are a pretty good alternative. I have the one Maiden's blush. This is the one that I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I think it looks really beautiful, a little bit glowy, pretty natural. I think that these are great blushes. I don't like the packaging and the experience as much as the Gucci blushes. I kind of think that the RMS, some of the shades match up to the ones in the Gucci line, but I think they also have one or two more interesting shades as well. Some of them are a little bit brighter, like more pops of color. But yeah, I do recommend these ones from RMS. I would say between all of the blushes, these are the two that I recommend. They're not exact, but they're pretty darn similar. If you want to save some money, pick up the ones from RMS. But if you want something a little bit more special and you're getting that discount, then I would go for the Gucci. Let's move on to eyeshadow palettes. And I want to show you guys the palette that I have on my eyes today. This is the Denona RECS Lightwork Volume 4. I was not sure if I wanted to get this palette. You will see it's very well loved. I am doing a full review of this palette if it's not up already, where I'll give you more in depth about like my thoughts and who this is for. But I do just want to include it in this video because it is a very interesting palette, and I think that this is probably one of the coolest items that is being sold at Sephora, period. Like one of the most unique. You really can't find multi-chromes at Sephora all that much. Like you can see them here and there in like a Natasha Denona palette or a Pat McGrath palette, but rarely do you get a full palette full of like really interesting, unique, like artistic type of colors. And this palette is very expensive. It's $125. And so what I would say is that, you know, in general, I like this palette, and I'll talk more about it in my review. And I'll show you guys different looks, how you can make this more wearable, how to play with the shades and the textures in this palette. But in general, you know, I'm mentioning it in this video because if you're someone that likes color and you like fun textures and formulas and you like to play around with these types of shades, I would specifically get this during the sale. Like I would get this at a discount because, at least for me, like this isn't something that I'm going to be wearing every day. And if it's not every day and it's more of like a fun once in a while type of palette, or just when I'm in the mood to be more artistic and bright and duochromy, I would like to get a little bit more of a discount. I kind of think of this as like a Pat McGrath Mothership palette. Would I buy it full price? Yeah, I would, because I like it. But this is for me. I enjoy these types of products, but would I prefer to get it on a discount and save a little bit of money? Yeah, I would. So I would probably wait for the sale to pick this up. Denona RECS also has some sales, I think around Black Friday, on her website as well. So you can also check that out if maybe it sells out at Sephora. But I do just want to kind of call this one out at first because the rest of the palettes that I'm going to recommend do tend to be a little bit more on the neutral side. Speaking of neutral, I have to recommend this new midi palette from Natasha Denona. I told you guys in my review of this palette, this might be my favorite Natasha Denona midi palette that she has put out. I forgot to even say the name of this palette. This is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. This came out of her My Dream collection. It had like the blush trio, there were some lipsticks and all that kind of stuff. All those products are good, but this is what I recommend. I think that if you're looking for like the perfect Natasha Denona neutral palette, or you just like neutrals in general, but you kind of like, you know, some pops of shimmer, there are some very light duochromy shades in here. It's not going to be like the Denona RECS palette, but if you like a neutral duochrome, then this is going to be a good palette for you. It does lean a little bit warm, so if you're looking for something more cool toned, I would probably go for the Glam palette, or maybe check out the Natasha Denona Retro palette. But if you like sort of neutral to warm tones, I think that this is going to be fantastic. I've really been enjoying this palette, and like I said, I think that this might be my favorite midi palette that she's put out. But I still can't make up my mind. I love all her palettes so much. This next recommendation is probably one of my favorite holiday releases that have come out this year, and it's this quad from Guerlain. This is their limited edition holiday palette, which is called Golden Stars. This is just stunning. I told you guys in my review, this is a little bit more on the shimmery, sparkly side. It's not chunky glitter or anything like that, but it is going to give you a little bit of sparkle and shine. I just love the juxtaposition of all of these tones. I really love this formula. If you guys are interested in the Guerlain Ombre G quads, I just put out a video doing like demos and swatches and just kind of going through all of the quads that I have from Guerlain. I do have 4 plus a separate video on this one, so go check that out. In general, I would recommend all of these quads during the Sephora sale, because once again, you can't really get that much of a discount on these. And this one is my favorite amongst the 5 that I've purchased so far. I just think these colors are so pretty. If you want something that is a little colorful, like you're not going for like the Danessa Myricks light work, but you want a little bit of color, but nothing too crazy, this is great because you have some pretty soft pinks. You have a gold, which is, you know, it's a neutral, it's brighter, and then you have this gorgeous copper shade. This is just such a beautiful palette. You need to check this out if you haven't gotten any of these palettes yet, especially because they're expensive. They're $85. I would definitely check this one out because it's a limited edition. Lastly, I want to recommend this palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. I picked this up in the summer when it released, and I really like this palette. I think it is so beautiful. I think this is great for fall time, especially because you've got these really pretty like brownie neutrals, you've got the mossy greens, you've got the sea green, you have some other colors here to kind of deepen it up. It's a very user-friendly, workable type of palette. I love the pigmentation here. I think getting a little bit of a discount is really great. They did come out with their, I think it's called Rose Metals palette. That one's nice too. I didn't pick up that one because I thought there were just too many similarities between the two of them. But I think if you want something that's a little grungier, deeper, maybe you have a deeper skin tone, you like to rock those deeper tones, get that one. But I did just want to give this one a shout out because I didn't review this one, didn't really have time. Picked it up right before I left for vacation this summer. And I don't really cover Anastasia Beverly Hills that much on this channel. So I did just want to give it a shout out. I've really been enjoying this palette and I definitely recommend it for the sale. For lip products, you guys will know I'm kind of obsessed with the ones from YSL. I am slowly collecting a lot of these, and the 2 that I have here are number 1, the YSL Rouge Volupté Shines. These are like such an easy glossy kind of formula, but like not too shiny. I'll kind of show you right here. Just a hint of color, little bit of like a balm-like texture. They do have like a fruity scent. It's kind of like orange, maybe like an orange fruit kind of scent. So if you don't like that, maybe don't pick these up. But these come in so many colors, so many beautiful tones. This is the kind of thing that if I'm in a rush, pop that on. Got a Zoom meeting, pop that on, throw it in your purse. Don't need a lip liner, don't need a mirror, don't need anything. You just smack that on and you are good to go. I have several colors of these now, and I'm gonna list down some of my favorite colors in the description box. I believe the one that I have here is Orange Carousel, so it kind of gives a little bit of like an orangey tint to the lips. And then the other formula from YSL that I really enjoy is this one. This is the YSL Candy Glaze. And this is for my friends that love like the juicy juice, shiny types of lips. Like if you just want that glaze across your lips, this is what you need to get. Once again, it does have that kind of like fruity smell. So if you don't like scented lip products, don't get that, but I adore it. These are so great. These are also decently long wearing because they have a little bit more grip to the lips. So if you want something more long wearing, I would go for the Candy Glaze. I even got this in like the clear formula just as a lip balm, and people are always asking me like, what do you have on your lips? If you don't like carrying around clear lip gloss, or you just want something like shiny that gives a little more something than a lip balm, you can even get the clear shade. I know that's like Very basic, but I love it. On more of the long wearing side of the spectrum, we have these new lipsticks from Dior. These are the Dior transfer proof long lasting lipsticks. And here I have the shade Forever Sensual. It's just a beautiful classic nude shade. Whenever I wear this, you guys are like, what's on your lips? It's the perfect nude. It's the perfect nude. These are very long wearing. They're transfer proof, but they're still pretty comfortable. The shades are so beautiful. You can find more shades on the Dior website, but I think Sephora has a very nice selection. Not only did I do a review video for this, but I also compared these against the NARS Power Matte lipstick. So if you guys want to check out that beauty battle, I will link that down below. And I go really into depth into kind of like the wear test and what are the differences between them, all that good stuff. The NARS are really good too, but I would say especially in this sale, especially because these are more expensive, I would probably want to get the discount on these. I also, in general, I just like this formula a little bit better. Spoiler alert, I like this formula a little bit better, so I would recommend these from Dior. My last Sephora recommendations video was so long, I didn't have time to talk about fragrances, and my favorite fragrance brand to buy in this sale is Mr. Tom Ford. I love his fragrances. I have a lot, but these are the two that I want to recommend to you guys because I feel like these are the two that most people will like that I really enjoy, especially during the fall and winter time. The first one is Tom Ford Ombre Leather. Now, obviously it's gonna have a very leathery scent, but what I like about this is that it's paired with also like a sultry floral type of undertone, like a little bit of musk. He does have another scent that's called Tuscan Leather that's in this line, which is a little bit more expensive. So you're saving a little bit of money by getting this one. I prefer this one over Tuscan Leather. I think it's a little bit softer. I think Tuscan Leather is a little more unisex. It's a little more overtly leather smelling. That's just what I remember when I was comparing them in the store. This has that really nice leather element, but it's a bit softer. It's so good for fall and winter. It's one of my favorite scents. And then the other one that I enjoy is this one, which is called Jasmine Rouge. If you like white flowers, if you enjoy jasmine, kind of like sexy floral scents, but not like spicy, not overly spicy. I like spicy, but this is not super spicy. This is going to be my recommendation for you if you want something that is more floral and feminine, but not like bubblegum sweet, you know, like Miss Dior, you know, like a lot of the Dior fragrances are like that. If you want something more sultry, then I would go for this one. One of the other fragrance brands that I like to buy from Sephora is Jo Malone. So that's a really good one. I have so many Jo Malone scents. I would say like the juniper one this time of year is good. The sage and sea salt is really good. There's just so many good ones from the Jo Malone line. And what's great about those two is you can like mix them and kind of like create your own like cocktail sort of scent, if that makes sense. Lastly, I have a couple of like tools / devices that I want to share with you guys. I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video that anything from the Sephora collection brand will be 30% off. So this is a fantastic time to be buying something from the Sephora collection. And these are my two favorite brushes from Sephora. I do like the Sephora Pro line. You guys know I love bougie fude types of brushes, but I love myself some Sephora collection, and these are the two that I love the most. The first one is the Pro Foundation number 47, and this does say it's for foundation, but I like to use it for concealer. You guys would have seen me in the demo of the Charlotte Tilbury concealer. This is the brush that I use. You guys are always asking me, what is that brush? What is that brush? I literally use this every day. I can't find another concealer brush that I like better. I have some others that I like more for detail work, but this is my go-to. It just fits perfectly under the eye, you know, touch-ups, smoothing things out. It's so good. It is a synthetic brush. It's great for creams. And then the other one that I like is the baby version, which is number 71, and this is called the Pro Concealer brush. So if you like something that's more precise, you go in with this baby. So you just kind of dot that in just where you need it. You can snatch up your eyeshadow line right there. You can clean up here. You get any like mascara up there, smooth out things. If anything settles in the fine lines, you could carry this around in your purse. These are so good. Use them all the time. In fact, I have 2 of these, and I'm kind of thinking of getting another one. I might get another set of these because I love them so much. I also noticed Sephora Pro has a really nice brush set available. I will put an image up here. I don't have the set, but I saw it the other day on the website and I thought that's a great recommendation, so I will also link that one down below. The very last thing that I want to recommend is a device. And a lot of you guys ask me about this because I post photos of myself using this on Instagram. This is from Dr. Dennis Gross. This is the LED mask that the brand sells, and sometimes they come in sets along with some of the products. I bought this a year ago, so I've been using this for pretty much 1 year exactly. I got it in the Sephora sale, and these are expensive. I think they're about like $360 or so, and this is the time to get the discount because I can't really find this on a lot of sites. What exactly is this? As I mentioned, it is an LED face mask, so you have a couple of different settings. It's very easy to use. You just pop it on, comes with a little strap, and then you click it once, or you hold it down, and you get the red light, which is sort of like for fine lines and wrinkles. You hit it again, you get a blue light, which is more like for acne, and you get both of the lights, which is the one that I do. Of course, like why wouldn't I do both lights at once? I use this about maybe 3 to 4 times a week. I wake up in the morning, I pop this on. Yes, you can drink coffee through the little mouth hole. I sit there for maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I just keep running that dual cycle, you know, until it's about like 10 minutes or so, which is maybe like 3 or 4 cycles, and I'm good. A lot of people ask me like, does this work? Does it help? I have very pale skin. I have rosacea. I feel like it helps with my redness. In terms of fine lines and wrinkles, you know, we'll see if this helps over time. The cheapest way to prevent wrinkles is to just stay out of the sun and wear sunscreen, but I do feel like this helps. I do feel like my skin tone's a little more even, a little bit less red when I keep up with this, but you do have to be honest with yourself. If you're someone that like you just know you're not going to be consistent with this, then don't spend the money. These types of devices, you really need to use them several times a week in order for them to be effective. So there is like that little bit of like a routine time commitment a couple times a week. But yeah, I wanted to mention this because a lot of you guys ask me about it. I really like it. I've tried other brands. I like the way this fits on my face the best. You can move around, you can vacuum, you can do chores while you're, while you're wearing this. It's very comfortable, and I feel like it does help a bit. So want to mention it now so you can get a discount. This is my last recommendation. Anyway, friends, those were all my recommendations. Sound off in those comments down below and let me know what you think. Do you guys own any of these? What are you eyeing for the sale? I need to know. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I will put my handle up here so you guys can connect with me on the reg. That is where I let you guys know when things go on sale, when products come back in stock, because during the sale, things will sell out and then they'll come back in stock. I'll let you know when other sites are having sales, pretty much all the good deals. It's also a great place to just connect with me. You can DM me if you have any questions or want recommendations. I seriously love talking to you all on Instagram and on YouTube every single day. So you can head on over to Instagram and follow me there if you want to connect. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. I love watching these videos and I love making them for you all. And if you are still watching and you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button to join our fam because we have a fantastic time here on my channel. And with that, guys, I hope that you are having a fantastic day and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.